Peace and love, y'all. You feel me? Serious Divinity here. Today I wanted to talk about Doctor Strange. I felt like that movie was real symbolic. You know, Marvel they starting to go fucking crazy now. This Endgame and shit like that. So they just putting out any fucking thing or like red flag, red flag. But continuing. Um, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you got any other suggestions or what video I should do, definitely let me know. But continuing on from the movie. It starts off with like a parallel universe. So Doctor Strange is asleep, and then is basically showing another Doctor Strange, and it's him with a ponytail, some other shit, and yada yada yada. So, but they're in some other world. That's it. As you can see, this little pink world. But it actually, the movie starts off with them first showing a damn star and shit like that. So they running from this monster. They eventually get to this floating little disc thing that they standing on, and it gets to the point where the monster catches up. So Strange basically tries to explain to the girl, which who her name is America Chavez. We're gonna continue to look that up later on, but continuing. He was talking to America, and she was telling her that he might have to sacrifice her because the monster's here to get her, and he's just gonna fuck everything up. And the only way for him not to fuck everything up is just to take the power, and then there's nobody else can get the power because he was actually supposed to be strong enough to hold shit and nobody could get it. But continuing on, the monster why Doctor Strange, because he was like fucking talking too much. The monster why he was saying all of that shit too, he basically like fucking stabbed him or some shit like that, but he killed him. So within him killing him and with all of that shit happening, the fucking America, she started screaming. That's when her power started unveiling itself and yada yada. So she actually is a what they call a dream walker. It's a spell that they all was trying to get, but it's a power that she has. Something that kind of go hand in hand with what I would call well, skywalking or all of that stuff. There was a video that recently dropped as well, but skywalking. Uh, America can basically go any fucking dimension she wants to at her own will without having to go into like the parallel body and going into that quote unquote avatar that's that and third. Just like us and Unicai gods and goddesses, we could just go into any dimension, any from a universe that we willfully want to. So that was that problem, and that's why that monster actually wanted to get to it, because people could or entities, whatever you want to call them, can use that shit for themselves. So continuing, Strange died. You feel me? He was talking too fucking much. The monster got him. She screamed, portal open, and basically jumped in that motherfucker, and the dead body of the old Strange went with him. So when all of that shit was happening, Doctor Strange had woke up. I will only add note that Doctor Strange is supposed to be the Doctor Strange of like the fucking Defender. He was supposed to be the parallel version of the regular Doctor Strange that everybody sees, but the very strong Defender version of that nigga. You feel me? I don't know, but we basically saying for the greater good, we just gotta take your ass out, then we could basically save everybody else. That was the only thing that he was trying to do. So, been talking too much. That's how he got himself caught up, and that's how Doctor Strange and from everything else started spiraling and corresponding to what the fuck happened now. So when he woke up, he basically was doing his everyday life and shit like that. And he just started walking outside. He was supposed to actually be going to a wedding. One of his the girl that he actually wanted to get, or whatever the fuck was supposed to be happening. He was basically invited to the wedding. He didn't get the girl. Fuck that. Yada yada yada. So within all of that, the wedding that was going on, and then in the middle of that shit, he saw a big ass monster. The big ass monster was trying to take the same fucking girl that he saw in his dream. They basically just from killed the fucking monster. They got her out of there, killed the monster, and then they eventually get to talk to each other. But I wanted to also point out the facts of dreamwalking is the same fucking shit as skywalking. It ain't no big ass differences. All they did was play with the fucking words. But it's how blatant Marvel is with the shit. You feel me? Marvel's just they just blatant with the shit. It's basically showing how while when people think they sleep, you actually ain't not either. Or something is a possibility that you could be in a parallel universe and experiencing shit in the parallel fucking universe, or just fucking being in the avatar that's with it, being able to withstand whatever the fuck you're going through, and just being out there and within the multiverse, the cosmos, whatever the fuck you're doing, and actually just skywalking, doing whatever the fuck us goddesses do. But at the end of the day, Marvel was like, I was I'm just pointing out at fucking Endgame, they just don't give a fuck. They just pointing out a lot of shit or thinking we really don't see, or I don't know what the fuck they. It's just blatant, and I just wanted to make a fucking video about it. But continuing, so they made America basically like explain herself to the T type. Say like, who are you? They finally got like at this point after they saved her ass and then had a fucking conversation, took her ass to lunch or some more shit. They finally asked her what was her name and show proof and yada yada. So she showed the dead body of the other Strange. He was like in a zombie state type shit. So she explained that the dreams that they were having, because they kept asking questions to try also try to confirm. She explained that the dreams that they having are actually parallel versions of themselves. So that's just that was another point I was also saying, just how blatant they also getting with the shit as well. But continuing, America is still, but to really touch more back on her character, I feel like they still being, you feel me, just real blatant. America, you feel me, is the start. You already know the star symbolism with American, understand the third, but it came through the portals of the Caucasus Mountain, aka the powerful tree stumps that they had cut down. She was speaking Spanish primarily, and we understand and understand what that was, because when the indigenous, when I was about to call it as indigenous, when the Caucasians came and took over the land, we understood that that name was Amerigo. We understood that his name was Amerigo Vespucci. And that's basically from whether they speak that Spanish. Whether the main character on the Marvel shit speak, she basically spoke Spanish as well. And that's why she was kind of confused that when she came to the other world, that Doctor Strange didn't speak Spanish either. But throughout the whole movie, she started speaking English and all. But that's how far they went with that. If you watch one of the previous videos, it was explaining how Paramount Pictures, even Paramount Viacom, excuse me, how just they expose that's just fucking very symbolic how they just be exposing a whole bunch of shit that they, naked I normally wouldn't call symbolic, whatever the fuck else you want to call it. So when she opens a portal, she basically makes like a star. She literally makes a fucking star. But that's also representation of when they came through the fucking Caucasus Mountains, they came through portals. You feel me? Yeah, I mean, right there, space is the fucking stars are symbolic for multiple things. It's symbolic for the people when it starts to stand still. It's symbolic for them when they like around the fucking, what is it? For me, it's a tree or something, but a mountain, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And when they floating around like that, it's supposed to be symbolic of a spaceship. But then you also seeing it as a star. But that's the vehicle, aka when we're going back to the star symbology. Like I say, just we're gonna look at it as the like I said, head, arm, leg, the avatar. Just like how we come into this body to be on this realm of existence and shit like that. We, this Loki is a fucking body. I mean, not the body. Excuse me, a vehicle. So that we're gonna look at it the same way for them. That's how symbolically they use it. All right. So after America explained herself to Doctor Strange. To Doctor Strange, as you know, man, like the main character, Doctor Strange. They kept moving on. Then eventually, the Scarlet Witch caught up to him, and that's basically who they were running from the whole time. She kept sending different entity after entity to try to capture her and then bring her back to her. So eventually, she caught up to him, basically knocked out Doctor Strange, and then scared the fuck out of fucking America, my bad, America. And then she opened up another portal, but within her opening up another portal, shit like that, they accidentally kept jumping dimension to different fucking dimension and shit like that. So right there is the scene of them jumping from one of them to another one. All this shit is like clips, cause you feel me. Oh, and for copyright reason, you feel me. I found these clips on Reddit. So just in case anybody asks, don't worry trip about that. You feel me? Found these clips on Reddit. But the main point I wanted to point out, like why this is up here and shit like that, is that when they was skipping dimensions from dimension, if you see, they was in a fucking cartoon dimension type, and those is actually real. Even in a fucking like Planet Kai, it actually in one of the realms that we have, one of the realms is actually like a cartoonish ass realm. That's why a lot of the cartoon Mickey Mouse and all of that other shit. That's why a lot of them exist, and even it's different parallel universes or just different. It's also different universes and shit like that that have, like the same theme type of setup and shit like that. So that really don't matter. But that's how far and extensive they went to it, because most people don't even know within one of the realms of what we've been, because we on the fifth one and it's four above four and shit like that. One of them is basically cartoonish and shit like that. So a lot of that's where a lot of that shit come from. The symbolism in the movie kind of went a little, they just started getting real aesthetic with the shit. Like they wanted the scenes and shit to pop up more. Like they were just being blunt in like certain places and shit like that. But if you connected the whole dots, kind of make a little sub story within the shit, like a silver lining, in my opinion. But once they stopped doing all of the dimension hopping and shit like that, they eventually landed in a universe where that Doctor Strange was dead or whatever. So they then got caught again because they fell for a trap or somebody or shit like that. They fell for a trap, and it's just drunk a tea. They was talking about the universe they were from, and they drunk a tea, and went to sleep. And then when they woke up, they were inside this big ass laboratory. So he had to stand in front of a trial of what they had called like the Illuminati. He was like, he asked them questions and shit like that. He was like, "What did they? What did y'all have figures and shit like that?" He was like, "The Avengers, yada yada." But he was just naming shit, and they was like, "No, the Illuminati, whatever." So he stood in front of a couple different superheroes, and they basically was trying to pass judgment on him. And one of the like Captain America, what is it? The parallel Captain America was a female, and she had, instead of it being like the American symbol in the star, you know what that shit had symbolized. It was just the Britain flag type shit around the whole, like the whole shit was just a Britain flag. So we all understand what that means. From the Draconian reptilians, they live in the fucking British whatever the fuck royals and all of that shit. They live all the way the fuck over there. That's who the royals are and all that shit. The Draconian reptilians, the fucking 13 families and all that shit. So it's just crazy, in my opinion, how that shit is just tying together with the first shit that they just showed in the beginning half of the fucking movie. And then ironically, just that's the shield or whatever the fuck, and then the Illuminati factor. It's just playful to me, all that type of shit. And another topic I wanted to touch on that they showed in the movie was this place that they called the Gap of Chunchin. You feel me? I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but that's kind of how the lady pronounced it. Um, I only wanted to speak on it because I wanted to validate at least the look of it, because especially when I'm doing my travels and shit like that, way, I mean, I don't call it years and shit like that, but we just going for head call it years sake, because we know time don't, it ain't real, but let's just, yeah. Couple years back anyway, I've been to a place just like that type shit. Like the floor is exactly how it is. Like it looks like a fucking, you know how if you go into a church they have those colorful ass windows and shit like that. If you went into a church they had them colorful windows and shit like that. But that would be like the whole floor. It's very colorful. It's them fucking columns and shit. That's always, well, I've seen like 4 columns always around that shit, and it's very bright type shit. The background is very is dependent. Like the one I was around, it's like it was clouds and blue and some more shit, a lot of light, and different colors. But I just want to touch on that. It's just they also putting. I mean, we always knew they putting real destinations, real names, real shit, because they're not creative, so they have to pull this shit from real fucking shit, and then just miscellaneous, put it here, put it there, put it there, and then or just fucking remix it, throw it in the blender type shit. But aside from that, from I really ain't want to ruin the movie too much for people, but I did want to touch on certain topics and certain symbolic shit that I've seen. If you see anything, definitely touch up on it. But that's really what I've seen type shit. Also, I mean, Marvel personally, I mean, they've been doing this shit for a long ass time now. I mean, they really started when they was doing the what is it, the Spider-Man 3 shit. And I was talking to my friends, or I was talking to 2 different guys and shit like that. We was just chopping up about that shit. But Marvel, they slightly edged into bringing into this spacey thing shit. But a lot of motherfuckers, they don't be reading the comics. The comics, they was always about that shit. Like Galactus, that nigga, they showed that motherfucker just literally eating fucking planets and worlds and destroying them and all this, that, and the third. But when it came to like them visually showing the shit, the furthest they got was at Spider-Man 3, and that's when Venom had came down from a whole different planet. Because if you understand the story of fucking Venom, he came from a different planet. And then he was the weakest of his kind and landed on fucking Earth. So, and then as you can see, he landed on Earth. Motherfucker jumped on the back of Spider-Man. So that's not really happened, but just for sake of the movies and all of that. You know, that was as far as they went with the shit. And then as time went on, they just started passively getting more spacey, more science fictiony, which we know is the truth. Just ultimately just more fucking blatant. I ain't gonna lie to you. And then when they wanted to be more blatant, that's when they start ushering remakes of the same moves that they just put out, like the Spider Man. That's fucking Spider-Man 3 that you see. They done made fucking 6 fucking different versions of Spider Man after that shit, and then was getting more fucking in depth with this shit. Each one, same shit with the X-Men shit, the same thing. Like they always been trying to edge in this the fucking spacey theme shit and all of this. But that's also why I wanted to take time and make a video on this, is because this movie is the furthest I feel like they done got. They damn near talking about skywalking, dream walking, and that's what they calling it in this shit and yada yada yada. And the shit that we really doing is giving it very heavy detailed type tip. You feel me? It's like, to me, this is like another big ass just Paramount commercial, but like a fucking explanation to the shit. You know what I'm saying? They made it more symbolic. They made America, which they trying to say we live in, which we live in. So most of us that's watching this video fucking live in America, which I live in. America with 3 Ks and shit like that. But they named America. Her fucking symbol is a fucking star. When she makes a portal, it creates a star and shit like that. She speaks Spanish, yada yada. I mean, it's more in depth we already know some symbology is not just one meaning for anything. So it's many fucking meanings for any one symbol and shit like that. So don't ever take it for my shit that I'm saying right now is the full fledged answer to everything. Because even with the symbology or the essence, I'm goddamn start saying some symbology. But the reason that I just gave y'all of how I seen the things is even more in depth ways of seeing that shit's all based off perception. That's why symbology is the used to be the ultimate form of communicating aside from telepathy. Cause for me, it's multiple ways of saying anything. You feel me? Zeus, he just keeps sending his army and his henchmen and all them other niggas and shit like that. They just keep blatantly putting shit behind shit, trying to fuck up niggas fucking subconsciously, doing a whole bunch of shit, promoting shit. It's just crazy now. The nigga lost the war and now he's just trying to go with a fucking bang. He's just trying to show niggas, keep laughing in people's face and whatever the fuck you want to do. That nigga's very salty, you feel me? So, definitely I say go see the movie in whatever way you can see it. Let me get your perception. Let me hear your perception on this shit. Whatever the fuck your intake and all of that. That's mine. The rest of the movie, I feel like it really don't matter because they just really ain't do shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. They just was trying to act out whatever the fuck, be magical, look nice, have good themes and graphic designs and shit like that. It's cool, whatever the fuck. The only other cool part I feel like was when they was fighting with music. You feel me? They actually took the notes off the page, which really don't mean yeah. They took the notes off the page. It was like battling each other with the shit and basically having a battle of vibration and shit like that. And then they exploded each other. And, you know. I definitely want to start doing more videos like these. Like I said, if you have any suggestions, definitely put them in the comments. Guess what? If we get to 50 likes, I'll do another one. I'll go live and then I'll hear what movies or whatever it is, you feel me, what I should react to. I'm not even fucking react to. Put my eye on and shit like that and come back and make a video on. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you once again for just clicking on the video. Peace of love. I say. Oh man, throw it over there.